Warning, the following may contain Demogorgon. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, Kellin has retrieved an ancient, presumably magical spear from the cairns surrounding Yester Hill. As the party gathers its strength before exploring the druid's home, Kellin takes the time to investigate his find.
So, Kellin, so you're just sort of... Well, what are you doing, Kellin, actually?
Yeah. I am contemplating the spear.
Okay, and what are you doing to contemplate it? What are you...
I stare at it meaningfully.
Yeah, no, I mean, and certainly as you do so, you're just getting a better sense of understanding this. It's almost like reading a book, and the fact that this knowledge is coming to you in drips and drabs, and you start to move it in your hands, and you work it, and rub at it a wee bit. Certainly, one of the first things you notice is that you give it a wee clean to get some of the dirt off it, and you realise that some of the stains just aren't going away, and eventually you realise that actually some of the stains that's marked the metal, the sort of iron on this, and the dark stains in the wood in particular, it's not mud, it's actually blood that's dried in there, and sort of caked in. This is a blood spear. And it, in some ways, it's got something very similar going on to vampires, because this spear hungers for life. And whenever you hit with a melee attack using this magic spear, and if you reduce your target to 0 hit points, you gain 2d6 temporary hit points. So it sort of transfers that creature's life force onto you. You also do get a sense, though, Kellin, of what the voice was saying as well, and the fact that you were chosen for this. It's almost as if this was meant for you, not for anyone else. So when you are using this blood spear, you will get a +2 bonus to your attack and damage rolls as well. Okay.
Wow.
So there you go. That's your magic item.
Yay!
Kellin, that's a lot of yaying. What did you discover?
It's magic!
No! Hurrah!
Let's go kill something right now.
That's a spirit.
There really is no malevolent intelligence resting inside it, waiting to take you over. I could have sworn.
Not everything is malevolent here. I mean, there's some good things.
Yes, everything is malevolent.
No, I met all of you fine folk here.
We all came here together. You didn't meet us here.
That's what you said. I mean, I showed up, you were here. I have no idea. No strangers to me. I'm saying it's a good thing that we have a magic weapon, and I think we should definitely use it right now.
So, Kellin, just to double check, you get the same... it doesn't affect your attack is basically as normal, what you roll for attack, except you get that extra +2 bonus. Spears normally hit with 1d6, which I think is slightly less than your axe, but obviously you get an extra +2 on top of whatever your bonus was for... What did you get for your great axe as damage?
+5.
So this will be +7.
Okay. Can he bring someone down to almost dead with his axe and switch in the spear, just finish them off and get the bonus?
I believe switching would be a bonus action, yeah. But he's got more chance of hitting with his attacks with the spear, because he gets an extra +2 to attack rolls.
I think you're asking the wrong question. The question is, can I have your axe?
No. It's my... I need a backup. You can have I got a spare javelin.
Oh, I gave away my dagger. I need something.
You can also throw, you can throw spears.
I have a heavy crossbow.
Can I use that? Let me try it. No, that's way too heavy. No, I can't use that.
You go back.
So
we never climbed inside that stone wall.
You have not. No, you've only been ringing around the hill so far.
We didn't even peek over the edge, did we? We don't know what's in there at all.
No idea what's up there.
I say we go in guns blazing, but I mean fireballs flying, magic spears jabbing, bards hanging back, playing a merry tune. Warrior nuns also jabbing.
Sounds like a battle plan.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the battle plan before the jabbing?
I think it
Go
was
take a
like
peek over the wall.
storm up the hill like raving lunatics.
Yes, I like it already.
And Kellin
Then we-
first with his magical spear.
Let's sprint up there, then come to an abrupt stop, and then have Kellin McGrag peer over the edge of the wall.
Okay,
Now we'll just vault out.
so we're going up to the Ring of Stones. There's a path that's heading up there that leads to a gap in this ring?
no.
Are you going up the
Too
path?
obvious.
No.
That would be too easy.
This isn't our first bungle.
No.
Okay. So we're just moving up the side of the hill. Are we using any stealth at all, or are
No.
we just going for it? So we're plodding on up there, guys.
Yes.
And so on top of this hill is this wide ring, and really this ring, this wall that we've been talking about, is just a ring of black boulders and sort of smaller rocks that have been piled on top of each other. So there's no sort of artful construction here. That basically whoever's made this has just heaped these obstructions on top of each other.
Shoddy.
So the actually, this ring it's big. You get the impression it's about 250 feet in diameter. So there's almost like a wee field going on inside there, and it's inconsistent. So sometimes it's like 10 feet tall, sometimes it's just 5 feet tall. So if you move around and you get to a position where you can actually, most of you see over the wall, and you see that inside there's just this sort of small field basically of dead grass, but it is dominated by this ghastly 50-foot tall statue that seems to be made of tightly woven twigs, and it's packed inside with black earth. And this statue resembles a towering cloaked man with fangs.
Fireball? I know I normally say that. I know that's my go-to, but in this case,
Yeah, I'm hearing a voice. I'm actually. There's a voice speaking to me from the stones right now. Hold on. It's saying someone should give me a knife. I should have a knife. Does anyone have a dagger? Really?
Here, fine, here. Look, this is my. I pull out a dagger from my thing. I usually use it to clean my teeth, but in this situation, here you go. Might want to clean it. I toss it over to you.
Why is it green?
Needs a lot of spinach.
So this is a dagger of reckoning, right? A dagger of magical stabbing.
Of tooth decay.
Personal hygiene. A dagger of personal hygiene. Okay, yes, this will be great. I'll kill him with a toothpick.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to do the fireball. What do we think?
I mean, we can all agree that is in need of an Arcana check. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Sorry, what are we doing?
I'm going to make a fresh roll for an Arcana check. On the statue inside the wall.
You would need to get much closer to it to be able to get any sort of sense of it.
I mean, honestly, do we need to know? It's a fanged monstrosity surrounded by a wall that is struck by lightning every 10 seconds. I mean, if there's ever been a case for reflexive fireballs, I mean,
Yes.
this would be it.
What does anyone have like a flask of oil we could toss on it first? I think I might.
I think we should
Why don't
have
I shoot a
flasks of
fire
oil.
bolt, like a test firebolt, see if it catches fire a little bit, and then do the fireball so I don't waste it in case it's somehow
We-
naturally immune.
We bought these 5 clay casks of oil. If you remember.
We used 2 already. So
I used 2. Well, we have 3. I say we can give up 1 here.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
run in
just-
there, run in
might
there,
not-
nestle the flask right between the branches of its thigh. You might have
Okay.
to climb up a little bit,
Strangely specific.
left thigh, and then come running back out before anything malevolent takes over you, or hordes of druids, or a horde of spiders emerges from its core, or any of those.
As you are speaking, guys, there's another bolt of lightning from above, and it hits the wall about 15 feet away from you.
Yeah. Can we fireball the clouds? No, that wouldn't work.
I just fireballed my pants, so I think that we should do something. This is getting out of... I'm going to turn invisible. I'm going to go put the clay oil pot in the thing, then come back and you blow it up, all right?
Put all the clay oil pots, all of them. This is.
I have 3 left. I'm going to put them all in there. I will return immediately. And do not fire the bolt until you hear the signal.
I'll do my best not to.
Okay.
Okay. So you are turning invisible?
Yes, I'm turning invisible.
Okay.
Yes, I put my concertina and I go, honk. And that's all it takes anymore because I'm an expert now. Honk. And I'm invisible.
Excellent. And now what are you doing?
Well, I get my 3 clay pots of oil and I just sneak, I'm trying to go very quietly. I sort of sneak out to the thigh region, the feet and the thighs. I'm not going.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to take a stealth check then, please? You do so with advantage.
Oh, that's nice. And then a useful thing. Useful, yes. I'm going to throw this dice in the ocean. My best one was 11.
I see. So you get about halfway between the wall and the fiery statue, the statue that you want to set on fire. So I reckon that it looks like you get about 20 feet from the wall, 25 feet from the wall. So there's another 25 feet to go before you reach this statue. And then suddenly there is this rumbling all around you, and it's probably easier for the rest of you who are watching Jean. You guys are about 25 feet away from Jean at the moment, and you realise that the ground around him is beginning to move, and actually what happens is that hands sort of burst up through this ground, and you quickly realise what has happened. Underneath the soil here, druids and have buried themselves in the earth. And notice now, hearing Jean's sort of clumsy footsteps across the dirt, they've started to surface again. So would you all like to roll for initiative?
John, it was good knowing you. I think the rest of us are going to retreat.
Now I rolled 19. 19.
Right, Jean gets 19.
5.
5 for Master Sana.
8.
6.
8 and
16.
Oh, okay.
16.
16 for Kellin, who wants to use his magic item. And 8. 8 for Lord Talfin. Okay, so I got 2. So there's 8 figures in total burst from the earth. 4 of them are just sort of bulky, sort of warrior-looking men and women, still wearing those sort of druid masks that you saw back at the winery. But these guys are holding massive axes, reminding you a wee bit of Kellin, actually. And they got 12 for their roll. And other figures look considerably more familiar. They remind you much more of the individuals that Kellin and Master Sana fought at the winery, and unfortunately they seem to be struggling with this idea of putting themselves out from the earth, because they're actually going to go last. So we're going to have Jean is going to go first, which makes sense because he's the one staggering around in the middle of this clearing. Then Kellin, then the axe-wielding baddies, then Lord Talfrin, then Master Sana, and then finally the druids. So Jean, you have now these figures are you're 25 feet away from your pals. These figures are really all around you at the moment. To be honest, all of them are well within striking. None of them are in melee combat with you, but it would just take a few steps for most of them to get to a position where they're able to harm you. So you have your pick basically of your potential foes. Or, of course, you've got your pals waiting 25 feet away. You are still invisible, isn't it?
Yes, that's useful. I think... can I cast a spell and also dash?
No, dashing would be basically using your action. So you can run, you can do your normal move, which I think is quite, would certainly bring you back in line with your pals, but you can move and then cast a spell, or you can cast a spell and then move. It's up to you.
That's what I will do, yes. I am going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Yes.
Which works for 15 feet around me in a cube.
Yes.
So this is the part that I don't understand. It says, on a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. Wait. So a creature takes 2d8 and is pushed 10 feet away if they fail.
Yeah.
But then it says on higher levels, you add 1d8 for each slot? I don't know what that means.
So that's okay. So what you can do with a lot of your spells is that you can cast them at higher levels. So, for example, Thunderwave, is that a level 1 spell?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but you have one. You've already cast a level 2 spell, haven't you? Your invisibility was a level 2 spell. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So you've only got one invisibility sort of spell slot left, but you can actually use that to cast some of your level 1 spells, but you cast them at a higher damage level. So you could cast a level 2 Thunderwave, basically, and that does a lot.
But I have 3 level 2s, so I would have 2 left.
So you've got 2 left.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's basically boosting your level 1 spell.
Yes. So I'm going to throw the Thunderwave spell and do it at the level 2.
Okay.
Because I really want to hurt these guys.
Yeah, so if you got this 15-foot cube, you can actually catch 4 of them, max, inside that 15-foot cube. So 2 of the druids and 2 of the axe-wielding gentle people. Okay.
Excellent.
So, and did you say they have to take saves?
On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8. Yes, the Constitution saving throw.
Save. Okay, could you take... I'll let you roll this for me, please, and you add 1 to the result. I'm going to trust you. Could you test for the druids first?
It's a d20?
It is.
Okay. 8.
No, it
plus
failed.
1. Okay.
Okay, and your other druid?
18.
I imagine that succeeds. What's your spell save DC?
It is 15.
Yeah, so that succeeds. And do you want to roll for the 2 axe wielders as well?
Another 18.
Okay, so
and a 3.
Okay,
so
you've had 2 successes, 2 failures. But what you're going to do is you're going to roll your damage, and we'll deal full damage to the 2 that you hit properly, and you still get to deal half of that to the other guys.
Okay, and so I do the D8 twice, right?
Okay. Well,
sorry.
Is it not?
Or just double it?
So is it not normally 2d8?
Oh, it is.
So
it'll be 3d8.
3d8. Okay. So
do I roll 3 times, or we just triple it?
No, you roll it 3 times.
Okay. 1, you piece of garbage. 6, that's better. And an 8.
Okay.
15.
Okay. 15. And did you get do you have a plus to add to that?
What's the plus? Spell attack bonus?
I don't. Let's see. I don't know your spell, so I'll just double check. Thunderwave.
Ho!
Okay. Thunderwave.
Nice
No,
80s
you're
reference.
right. You're right. So 15. Okay. So the druids that you did full damage to, you get the impression. You said these druids, if they fail the save, they get a knockback as well. So the one that gets blasted off his feet, you get the impression bones have been broken there. It's in pretty bad shape. You only do 15, you only do 8 damage to. So obviously the 2 that resisted you, you get the impression that obviously they're standing firm, they've been harmed, but it's not a massive deal. You certainly get the impression that the axe wielders have taken this considerably better than the druids. You get the impression that these guys with the axes are a lot tougher than the individuals that Kellin and Master Sunna had to deal with. But that was a good opening gambit. What are you doing?
I want to run. I'm going to run.
Because you're now visible. You've appeared. What did that look like to your colleagues? What did they see as these guys came up out of the ground? Obviously, you were invisible. And what was that? What would that look like?
They saw what seemed a scintillation of light surrounding the most majestic figure with flowing hair and a physique like a god, just outlined within the shimmer, and the earth sort of crumpled away from him as if embarrassed by his beauty.
I didn't see anything like that.
That's what I saw. I'm pretty sure that's what you saw too. And so I'm going to use my running to run between the legs of the statue.
Okay. All right. So you're moving toward the statue. Okay.
I have no sense.
Sorry.
Have I reached it? If I run to the
absolutely. You can certainly.
I have no sense.
You can certainly reach the statue, absolutely. But you realize that means that you're still out there in the open, and these guys are going to have no problem sort of getting to you. You're.
Well, I thought that my friends would save me.
Well, maybe they will. But you're now 50.
Okay.
You're now 50.
This seems like you're telling me I should not do this.
No. I'm just telling you that you've moved further away, so you're now 50 feet away from your pals, though.
Okay. What if I just I guess I run back. Back. I had a moment of bravery and it slipped away.
So you run back, sort of leaping over the wall, back to your dudes, basically. So you're in safety. Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely right. Kellin, it's your turn. You see this, display of awesome power from Jean, and then he runs back to you guys. As he's leaping over the wall to safety, what's your plan?
I'm gonna fire my heavy crossbow.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay on the good side of the wall for now.
Okay. So you've got plenty of targets. You have loads of these druid guys. You've got these axe wielders. Who are you going to shoot at?
I guess I'll take the axe wielder who appeared to be the most damaged by the brilliant display.
Yeah, there's certainly you notice that one of them just totally got blown off its feet and thrown back, and it's on the ground. You're happy to? It's actually a female axe wielder, but nice sort of beefy Amazonian type. You get the impression she'll knock lumps out of you as she gets to you. You're gonna take a shot at her.
I'll take 2. I can fire that twice in a round, right? I have 2 attacks.
Do you? You've got 2 attacks. Are you sure you get 2 ranged attacks though? It's not just.
That's what I'm curious about because I'm guessing the crossbow takes some time to load.
Crossbow. Is it just a regular crossbow that you've got?
It's a heavy crossbow.
Heavy crossbow. Bear with me. It does say here about loading, something to do with crossbows. Let me check that. Because of the time, you can only fire 1 piece of ammunition from it in a turn. Regardless of the number of attacks that you make.
Okay. Then I'm not going to fire the crossbow. I'm going to throw a javelin. I'm going to throw 2 javelins.
Yep, absolutely. Go for it then. Roll your 2 javelins.
Okay. First one, that'll hit 25.
Yep. That'll hit.
And 10 points of damage.
Okay. So obviously. Just hits in her side, basically. You can hear a grunt cry out from her. Are you throwing another one?
I'm throwing another one.
Yep.
12.
12 versus AC?
Correct.
Will not hit. No. So she sort of rolls to the side, yanks the javelin that you've impaled, that you've managed to stick into her. She yanks it out of her side. You see blood spurt, but she's picking herself up off the ground. You get the impression she's still good to go, and she looks through her mask as she gets to her feet and glares at you. And in fact, it's her turn, unless you've got any movement that you're going for.
I'm staying on this side of the wall.
You're staying on this side of the wall. So the axe wielders all roar as one, and they charge at you guys, and leaping over the wall. We're going to say that 1 on each of you, because there are 4 of them, and they raise their great axes and strike. So let's have a look. Good, great axe. Okay, so yes, they roar and slash at you with their axes. Lord Talfrin, the one that attacks you, gets 22 versus AC. I'm imagining that's going to hit, but I can see Lord Talfrin's microphone is muted, so I suspect he's maybe not here. That does 9 slashing damage to him.
That hurts.
Yeah, Master Sunna, you also get attacked. It gets 19 versus AC.
Oh.
So that hits for 9 slashing damage as well. Kellin is the one that you had wounded, the one who pulled the javelin from her side. She slashes you, but she only gets 13 versus AC. Obviously, her injuries.
That misses.
Right, her injuries just were not enough. She was on target, but you parried the attack. She barks at you as you do so. And Jean, you've got one who jumps over the wall but kind of stumbles and gets a 13 versus AC as it bears down on you.
Well, fortunately, I stumble into him as well. Like, oh God, you got me.
What's your AC?
12. 12.
That's good. So it opens up a big cut across your front for 9 slashing damage. Okay.
No, don't do that.
Lord Talfrin, it's your turn. You're in melee combat with one of these things.
Can I step back and cast a spell without a problem?
It is a problem because if you step back out of melee combat, it will get your attacker will get a free attack on you. It's an attack of opportunity. So you could use a disengage move, but that is normally a full action.
Yeah, no. So if I try and cast a spell without stepping back, do I still get a
So it depends on the spell. If it's a spell that you have to roll for the attack roll, then that is going to be an issue for you. But you do have some spells, like, the Thunderwave spell that Jean casts. It's meant to be cast in combat.
So this is good. Then I don't have to roll anything here.
Okay.
Are the druids that are coming out of the ground, how many of them are there?
So there are these 4 axe wielders, and then there's also 4 other druids, actual, sort of casting druids, basically.
Right. So I'm going to cast Fireball on the 4 emerging druids.
Okay.
Can we say because are they flat? Yeah, I don't know if there's that flat-footed. They denied a dexterity save. They're going.
No. They're out of the ground. They are not denied dexterity save. The problem is though the other 4 druids are spread out, so you could maybe
40 feet.
Sorry,
are they within 40 feet of each other?
I would say 3 of them then, or you could catch 3, including the 2 that Jean has already harmed if you wanted, but we couldn't catch all of them.
Okay, well I'll try a fireball.
Okay.
Against those 3.
Okay.
They have to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, would you like to make that roll then, please? For each of them?
Okay, so the spell save DC is 15. What's their dexterity bonus?
They get a +1.
No, he makes it.
Okay.
He makes it. And that's I got a 17, a 19, and a 20. That is disappointing.
Well done, thank you very much. Do you do half damage?
I do have damage.
Okay.
Why aren't you making these rolls? This is so they take 46 damage each. So they take 10 damage. Should I roll for each one, or
no? Just do a single roll, and we'll count that for them.
10 damage each. Does that kill them?
Sorry. So, did you say they take 40 damage?
10.
10 damage. Is that? Did you roll a 20? Is that right? And half that?
No. I just rolled, instead of 86, I rolled 4d6.
Oh, I see. So 10 damage. So it does not kill any of them. The 2 that Jean already hit with his thunder wave. One of them in particular, the one that he blasted back that actually got the full brunt of the thunder wave, you can see that druid is close to death. It's just struggling to pick itself off the ground again. And the other one's in pretty bad shape too, but of course the druid that had not been attacked at all yet, was harmed, but still it's got a lot of fighting left in it.
Well, I'm going to use my quickened sorcery ability to cast another fireball at them.
Oh wow, okay. So you want to take those rolls again then?
Yes. Do I have to be honest?
Yes.
You better roll this one.
Okay.
I can tell
I'm gonna.
It would just hurt me too much if I rolled more 20s in their favor. It would just crush my spirit.
The druid that Jean had harmed the most gets a 16.
Oh, come on.
The other druid gets a 6.
That's better.
And then the previously uninjured druid gets a 16. So you do full damage to one of them. Do you want to roll?
All right. Well, I'll take that much. Okay. So the full damage one. Well, I'll say the first 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. They take 15 damage each.
Okay.
And the other one takes an additional 15, so 30.
Okay. So the both druids that Jean had already harmed scream and just stagger around and fall to the ground, just burning husks. Basically, they're dead. The one that you have been picking on, it's in bad shape, but still kicking. Just
all right,
barely. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
If I move away, I get an attack of opportunity.
You would,
right?
Yeah, it would get an attack on you.
I will just turn a disdainful glare upon my attacker, hoping that he appreciates how unsporting it is to hit a man who's preoccupied with other enemies.
Okay. Right. Master Sonna, it's your turn. You're in melee combat with a druid. No, with a sort of big axe-wielding guy.
Druid.
Yes.
Great.
What's the plan?
I attack him with my sword.
Okay. Go for it.
It's 23.
23 versus AC will definitely hit.
Yes. And a D6.
Sorry?
Hang on. It's D6 plus 7.
Okay, so 7 damage.
Yep.
Yep, so definitely open up blood. There's a cut running down this guy's forehead. Still got plenty of juice left in him. Are you doing anything else?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm going to... I'll do a... Well, I don't know. I have an unarmored attack, a secondary one.
Yep.
So I'll try and do that.
Okay.
Plus 6. It's 19.
19 versus AC will hit. And for how much?
It's 8.
Okay, 8. Wow, did more damage than your... so obviously this slash across the face, the guy sort of gives a yelp at that, turns away for a wee second almost to wipe the blood away, and that's when you manage to catch him on the jaw. What is that, with a kick you normally seem to end up doing, isn't it?
Yep.
And you hear a proper crack that time. That really got some damage in. Okay, is that you?
Yes, for now.
Okay. For now. Okay, that's good, Master Sonna. And now it's the turn now. Unfortunately, most of my druids have been set on fire already, so they I don't have as much to do with them as I could. So, let's see. One of the druid that is most that's been least harmed. It begins to cast a spell, and you can actually see its skin starts to grow like woods and bark on it almost, creating this protective layer to protect it from harm. However, the one that is closest to death, it actually takes its fingers and starts howling and plugs its fingers straight into the soil, and the ground starts to tremor. And what's happening is that the area around you guys, the ground starts to rumble as well, and suddenly grasping weeds and vines sort of spring out from the ground and start to try to grab at you guys, at your ankles. So I need you guys to all take a strength saving throw.
20.
Okay.
19.
20! A natural 20! I haven't got one of those in years!
Lord Talfin?
15.
Was that 15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so you guys, despite the fact that these plants are all grabbing at you and trying to hold you fast, you manage to kick away from what the druid was casting up. So you guys are absolutely safe. Let me just double check if they... Oh, I've got a test for the axe wielders as well, so bear with me. These guys are strong though, so that guy... So Lord Talfin's guy is fine. Master Sonna's guy is fine. Kellin's lady is fine. Jean's dude is not fine. Jean's guy has been actually you can see the vines get good purchase on his legs, and you can see that actually wrapped away all the way up to his ankles, and you can tell that this guy is held fast. Now obviously you're in melee combat with him at the moment, but if you make it away from him, he will not be able to follow. Right now he's restrained by these plants. Okay. Other than that, that's all these guys do. So top of the round, Jean, it's your turn.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.